I'm so sick. So let's do a science mancy to help me cheer up. Especially because this one is about medicine. And it's actually really poetic and beautiful. Because it's about a surgical amputation that was found. Because the idea is that medicine really started with the Neolithic Revolution. Like 10,000 years ago when we stopped moving around, that created all kinds of new health conditions. And that's when we started having more time for doctors and things like that. And so before this, the earliest dated amputation that ever been found was here in France, and it was a European Neolithic farmer 7,000 years ago whose left forearm had been surgically removed and then partially healed. And as they say here, this accepted case of amputation would have required comprehensive knowledge of a human anatomy and considerable technical skill, and has thus been viewed as the earliest evidence of a complex medical act. And furthermore, it said that a grad student asked Margaret Mead, what is the sign of a civilized society? And she said it was amputations. The amount of time and care you have to dedicate to allow that to happen, to her, was a sign of civilization. And so, from this new report in Nature, blowing away those 7,000 years, here, however, we report the discovery of a skeletal remain of a young individual from Borneo who had the distal third of their left lower leg surgically amputated. Legs are harder than arms. Probably as a child, at least 31,000 years ago. Makes you weep. The individual survived the procedure and lived for another 6 to 9 years before the remains were intentionally buried in Liang Tabo Cave, which is located in East Kalimantan, Indonesia, Borneo, and it's a limestone karst area that contains some of the world's earliest dated rock art. So, this unexpected early evidence of successful amputation suggests that at least some modern human foraging groups in tropical Asia had developed sophisticated medical knowledge and skills long before the Neolithic farming transition. And it really says something beautiful. Instead of this kid dying young, there was someone there who knew enough about how to cut off that leg and do it well enough that they survived and they got to live another 6 to 9 years before they got to be buried in the holy place where they have all of the magic pictures on the wall that are the tool they use to pass on knowledge. So, amputations are civilized.